Hello and welcome to a new podcast, Boring Talk Concerning Cars, a podcast that I decided I wanted to try and launch off the ground with my commentary friend Chaz Draycott. Now, hopefully, we'll be able to bring in some really interesting guests and just get them to talk about all things racing, also play some games with them. I believe in our first episode, the one you're watching now, we get Bobby Thompson in and we play Articulate. We watch a little bit of sim racing in the background as well. We try and get Bobby to commentate on a few laps of sim racing. So without further ado, I'll let you jump on straight into the podcast. You join us just as I've tried to basically do the introduction live on the podcast and absolutely screwed it up. So enjoy.
Yeah, but this is the thing. We put ourselves under pressure for stuff like this, but bollocks to it. He's Jack Oliphant. I'm Chaz Draycott. And
even then, it's pointed the wrong way around.
Well, that's it. On my screen, you're on that side to me. But oh well. I'm in the Blue Cave, which looks like something you'd see in Amsterdam. I'm not sure how much our guest enjoys being in Amsterdam, whether he's even been. We've got Bobby Thompson with us today. How are you doing, Bobby?
How you doing, everyone? I'm great, thank you. Yourself? And to answer your question, no, I haven't been over there, but I wish I was right now.
That surprises me, Bobby. You seem like the sort of guy that would jump at a trip to Zandvoort and head over towards Amsterdam straight away.
I thought you was going to say something completely different, man.
Same
I'd
here.
love to go to Zandvoort. Yeah, that's the exact reason why I'd like to be there. Yeah,
Keep it
save me
professional,
there.
yeah. Keep it professional. Basically, what we're going to do for this podcast is we're going to play a couple of games with Bobby and Chaz as well, get their opinions on a couple of things, and then we're actually going to have a bit of a broadcast of a sim race. And Bobby's very kindly volunteered to actually jump on and do some commentary of the first lap of some MX-5 racing that goes on iRacing. Because, Bobby, you're a bit of a fan of sim racing nowadays, aren't you?
Yeah, I'd say I'm a slight obsession. I'd go as far as saying a slight obsession. I'm sure my girlfriend would say it's a full obsession, but I also like taking breaks to eat, so I'd say a slight obsession. But yeah, I'm enjoying iRacing. Nothing else other than iRacing. I mean, find it difficult enough just learning one sim software, let alone going on anything else. But yeah, I'm loving it at the moment.
Good stuff. I mean, Chaz, you've been commentating on iRacing for a long time. It's been brilliant, hasn't it, over the past year? Obviously, everything's been a bit shit, but it's been brilliant to have people like Bobby jump on, isn't it? And all these sort of other proper drivers to really show their stuff on the sim.
Yeah, it's been great to see a bit of conversion, essentially, because I've obviously, as you say, I've been commentating on it a long time. I've always seen the sort of talent levels rising and rising year by year, but to have so many real drivers that effectively had nothing else to do over lockdown come and do it. You know, it's the closest thing that we all get if we're not going to be racing as well. You two have both raced in real life. I haven't. So it's the closest thing that people like me get. But at the same time, you know, they know how close it is to the real thing. So they jump on and do it as well. And it's been amazing. And we've had it with commentators as well. You know, we've had many commentators jump in, the likes of Martin Hindhoff, for God's sake. He was just, to hear his voice on a sim race is unbelievable. David Addison as well, who has confirmed that he is very much converted to the world of sim racing. And yeah, it's been an incredible boom, I think it's safe to say.
Yeah, absolutely. And, well, speaking of it, we'll go slightly away from the sim racing to start with, because basically we're just going to try and get through the sort of formalities of general podcasting and interviewing out the way to start with. So, Bobby, you're obviously not racing in the touring car this year. There's potential rumours of you maybe doing a few rounds here, there and everywhere. But basically, what can you tell us about this season? What are you up to? Who are you coaching? What's the crack, basically?
So yeah, like you say, doing a load of coaching. I've got a few guys over in the Fiesta Junior and Senior grid in the BRSCC. I've got a lot of guys over in the Ginetta camp, all the way from juniors up to the GT5 and then the Ginetta Academy. A few other guys in Radical, so I've spread myself thin and got, you know, over a few series. In terms of myself racing, I don't really know. Just 1 minute I wake up and I'm happy that, you know, the conversation's gone the right way and I'm going to be driving a race car. Next minute, as we all know how motorsport is, someone comes on with more money and I get booted down the pile. So we'll see. I don't know. You know, it's difficult. There's a lot of drivers, one seat. We shall see what happens.
Yeah, it's a bit of a shame, really, isn't it? Because obviously there are a lot of you're one of the more popular drivers from last year, really, aren't you? But there's a whole host of drivers that really just end up by the wayside purely because of that budget constraint, isn't it? Which is a bit of a shame. But good to know that you're actually coaching along and you got people sort of paying the bills, I suppose.
That's it, mate. Yeah, I mean, I'd much rather be paying the bills from the right side of the race car, but unfortunately I'm in the passenger side and got to earn the money. And it's great to see. I get the same feeling from coaching my guys as I do me driving. When they do well. Don't get me wrong. Like I say, I'd love to have the trophy myself, but you get that same feeling. I don't know why, because maybe because you put so much effort into it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's great. It's great. But in terms of driving, we'll see. I mean, like I say, you just hit the nail on the head there. I thought we was one of the popular drivers from last year. I think the old shunt helped as well. Isn't it weird? A crash happens and people love you.
It's a bit of a double-edged sword, isn't it?
Yeah. So it's hard. It's really hard. But I think I've got a bit of the people feel sorry for me vote, because we've never had a car that would have a good chance of winning a championship. So, I'd love to give it a good crack.
Do you feel that we're quite lucky in the way with motorsport, in the fact that it's such a diverse industry? There's so much to do in the motorsport industry. Do you feel quite lucky that you're involved in that and you can always find something else to do with it, i.e. the coaching?
Definitely. I used to worry. Especially when I put my heart and soul into it and thought, right, I'm not going to get a proper job. I'm either going to race and earn money or coach. Throw myself headfirst in. Over the last 2 years or so, I've stopped worrying so much about the future, because the people you meet, you get more opportunities doing this gig than I would, I don't know, go and doing something else. So there's so many opportunities. The people you're around, it's a wealthy sport with people that with fun, interesting backgrounds that can always help you out. And there is good people out there that will help you out along the way. And those opportunities have come up for myself, and I'm going to try and push them, as far as I can.
My dad's face was a picture when my brother turned around and said, I don't want to get a proper job, I want to be a racing driver. My God, I wish I could have had a photograph of that. What was the reaction from your family when you sort of turned around and you did say, I fancy being a full-time racing driver, I'm going to put all my eggs in that basket?
Jesus, I think my dad said you better get a second paper round then, because it ain't cheap. I mean, I remember being in the kitchen with my old man, and my dad is a plumber, owns a little plumbing firm, and I said to him that I either go college and stick my hands down toilets, or I get coaching, and it's a slow burner, because the coaching, it's not done by you going around asking people, do you want to drive a coach? Because if you're asking, if one of you guys are driving, I come and said, do you want to drive a coach? You would think, why is he asking me? Am I crap?
Yeah.
So it's all done by word of mouth. So it's hard, but they build up, and it's getting to that stage now where it is, every single day. I mean, today or this week, it's been my first week off. I mean, I hadn't had a day off for 36 days before Monday, so it does build up.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's a non-stop industry as well, isn't it? Really, you've got so much going on all the time, and it doesn't really sleep for just one person and their aspirations, really. And I think Jack will probably agree that on the commentary side of things as well. Again, that's very word of mouth. If you land a decent gig, people hear that and they think, oh, this person was good. Who's that? Or similar with race seats. There's a limited number of them, and there's a limited number of people that can commentate on stuff. So you've got this sort of prestige spot that you want to get to, but someone good is already in that spot. It's all about hearing it word of mouth, isn't it, Jack? And
yeah, you're the pain in my arse at the moment. I want the gigs that you're getting.
I can only apologise. But in the same way, again, it's good to be in an industry like this where it's kind of everybody knows everyone, or eventually you will do, because if you go to a race meeting, you're already in a place where the only other people there are going to be like-minded people that are interested in it as well. They're not going to be there if they're not bothered, unless it's just a wives and girlfriends thing. But they're already there. So the opportunities, as you mentioned, Bobby, to meet the right people, and you never know what can happen. You could literally stand next to a bloke, get chatting to him, and you never know who it could be, can't you? Really, it's a bit of a crazy.
Yeah, I've had that. I mean, that's pretty much what funded my 3 years in touring cars. My main sponsor, met him on a corporate day. It was pissing down with rain. Palmer Sport, if any of you guys have been up there.
Yeah.
pissing down with rain. Last session of the day, we was in an open top car. I'm piss wet through, and it wasn't the most fun session. And I probably didn't speak to him in the most fun way. I just wanted to get out and go home. Took my day rate, corporate, and he added me on LinkedIn at the end of the day. Got talking to him. I thought I recognise that profile picture, and 3-4 days later he was on the car. So
Nice.
you never know who you're sitting next to ever.
What are the corporate days like? Because they must. I bet they're a grind, right? Because you must have some absolute tosspots basically turning up, thinking they can drive cars.
I wonder what
you get
word
in the
you'd
side
use
with
for
them,
that.
and they're just 100 mile an hour crashes in a field or something.
Well, I haven't done one for ages, years. That's in the coaching world. I suppose it's a bit like your apprenticeship. You use them to fill your days up. You're not private coaching. And eventually, when you've got enough private coaching days, earning your rate, you don't have to go back and do that stuff. But like I say, that's where you can potentially meet people. There's a load of drivers in the big old world of GT racing that have met people through corporate stuff and took them the full way, and now they're on a factory drive or a proper wage. So it's good for that sort of stuff. But it can be mental. I had one story. We're coming into turn 1. That's a little bit like it's a hairpin, so similar to turn 2 at Brands, I'd say, about as tight as that. And we're going about 130, and we've got intercom in 10 meters before the braking zone. He goes, "Am I doing the brakes or you?"
Oh my god!
What were you driving?
Oh,
It's something called a JPLM, so it's a bit like a Radical SR3 pace.
Oh yeah, it's the Palmer version of a Radical, basically, isn't it?
That's it. I also had a guy spin on that very corner, and the paddles are quite sharp. And he was a large gentleman, we'll call him, or big boned, or fat, and and he had a massive moment. Toys out the pram. We've added like a 100-mile-an-hour spin. I've yanked the wheel because he's understeering and adding more and more lock. I've yanked the wheel. The top of the paddle has got hold of his trousers and ripped from bollock to bollock.
Oh no!
And no, it didn't touch anything, but it was just all hanging out in the car.
oh, lovely. So it's literally a balls out qualifying.
Pretty much, yeah.
Bloody
Yeah,
hell.
no, that's an awkward little waddle back to the bathroom as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like at the end
Well,
of it when he comes in.
We still had
Oh,
5 laps or so left.
Oh Jesus! When you are coaching and stuff, because we're going on to a little bit of a pet peeve style moment, basically Room 101 style. You were talking to us. Now you said it was quite a boring little pet peeve. It's a little bit niche that you have when you're out there sort of coaching and everything like that. Well, can you let us know a little bit more about that if you can?
Well, like I say, it is a boring pet peeve. When drivers do a half-an-hour session, you'll send them out and they do a half-an-hour session, and they'll come in with one bit of feedback, i.e., the car's understeering, or it struggles to get in third gear, and I think
Right.
you've done half an hour. How have you come back after, or even longer, 40-minute session, 2 race runs, to tell me, or tell the team one thing? I'm sure there's more pet peeves, but I've got to rattle my brain. I will go away from here and I have loads, and I'll be texting you guys.
I was going to say, you'll be driving down the motorway and you'll be like, God damn it, I should have said that.
Oh yeah, should have said that one.
Chaz, you strike me. You have a lot of sort of pet peeves like that.
Oh.
Driving on the motorway, your sort of vlogs, I reckon you could fill about an hour and a half worth driving down to Silverstone with your pet peeves.
I must admit, I actually, to test my GoPro out when I got it, I actually recorded a mini vlog of when I just went to pick Harry up from school. And I was thinking, I'll put it on there and just say, this is a test for this, that, and the other. All I did was swear at idiots on the road the whole time, mate. I'm so bad for road rage because I'm going to blame my dad for it, because my dad always judges people on the road. So a guy will come flying up behind you in a Beamer and he'll go, oh, watch this now. He'll go round me here even though he doesn't need to. And then he'll pull off at the next junction anyway. So he didn't have to get past me. And he'll predict all these things that happen, and he's always right, and it really annoys me. But I try and do the same thing, and it's I had it on the weekend, right? I was in the slow lane because I was just about to, I was being a good citizen. I don't sit in
As
the
you
middle
should
lane
be.
like an absolute knobhead and a Qashqai sort of person would do. Well, they just sit in the middle lane and they're like on the wheel, and it's like, what are you doing, you cretin? Anyway, I was all the way over to the left. It was quite early in the morning. I was going down the M6. And there was a truck in front of me, and then this bloke in a fucking Honda Accord or something, some clapped out old Honda coming past me, and I was on the cruise control, just letting it chill all the way as you do, sat at 70, and then this guy just decided to go past so slowly, and he could see that I was getting up to the back of this truck, and I would need to come out eventually. So I started indicating, thinking, this will be all right. I might not have to get off the cruise control. And he did not move over into the fast lane just to let me out because he's not got the fucking awareness to open his stupid eyes. Oh,
it's the most frustrating thing, isn't it? When you literally like you make your intentions so clear, and I mean you're a BMW driver. It's pretty rare that somebody sees an indicator come on. Maybe they just weren't looking for it.
They were an optional extra.
Exactly. And then you make it so clear, and then you do get some absolute numpty in the middle lane or someone who just decide that they just don't fancy letting you out, and they sit there doing 71 miles an hour.
Yeah,
just that
creep past
quicker.
you.
Yeah.
Oh, but actually, to be fair, Beth gets really pissed off at me in the car. She hates being a passenger with me because when we're on a long drive, especially when we went down to Brands, I hate people in the middle lane that much. I'm going to admit this. I undertake them.
Oh, you're that knobhead.
I go up to I go up behind them. Yeah, exactly. I think everyone else is a knobhead, but it turns out it's me. But I undertake them, stay next to them at the same speed, shake my head at them, then go in front and then start indicating left in front of them, telling them to fucking move over.
Are you an undertaker, Bobby? That sounds weird. I know that's not your day job. But...
if depending, I will undertake. If they're in the middle lane, you got to look what car it is. If it's something that's going to stay there, hence they're not looking at the mirrors at all, let alone the left one, I will undertake. But if it is, I don't know what sort of car we're looking at here. I would say a Beamer. Say if a Beamer or a Merc's in the middle lane and you undertake, he'll just as you put your nose there, he's left hand down in you into the.
He's proper cutting you up. He's proper Jason Plato, Jake Hill style. That isn't it?
That's
proper just season the brakes up.
I think it's acceptable if you're coming off at a junction and you know that you're not going to have to overtake them after that. You're going off, but. Yeah, I know it's not really acceptable to do, but yeah, it pisses me off, so I try and get the message across. But Beth's like, why do you have to do that? I don't know, I just take it on myself to tell people they're a dickhead. Yeah, I am the man of justice.
Yeah.
Oh, dear me.
I tell you what, my a pet. So I wouldn't say it's a pet peeve, but I'd say it's a shit driving trait. Is all girlfriends, drivers' girlfriends, mums and sisters.
This is
the worst drivers. Yeah, the worst drivers. And I've met a few of those three. I've got one myself. I've got two myself. I've got a driver's mum and a driver's and a girlfriend.
Two girlfriends. Then that was one way to find out.
Yeah. Oh no. Quick, change the subject.
Run.
No, so they all drive at the speed limit, but everywhere. So it'll be like, so we've come up to a tiny roundabout and we're going 28, 29, but there'll be we won't roll it in nice and slow through the roundabout. No, it's 28, 29 for the whole roundabout. At the amount of times my missus has felt understeer, she goes, oh, did you feel it skid? She says, skid. And I think you do not have a fucking clue.
Aren't you a driver coach? Shouldn't you be correcting this shit, Bobby?
Oh, no. I'm holding on for dear life.
I could just picture Bobby holding the holy shit handle on the road. But you just hits this mini roundabout, gets all four wheels off the ground.
Did you feel that skid? Yeah, I felt that fucking skid.
Sweating my pants.
Oh, mate. No, that is a pain, isn't it? When people are just far too confident, because you know, as I'm sure you're a driver, you know sort of what the car should feel like, and you know when you go about to lose the grip, and you're thinking, come on, brake now, brake a little bit, please brake, and all of a sudden they're just like, nah, don't need to, fly straight over. It's mad.
You actually get them a lot more than you'd think on the motorways as well. You get little like 17-year-old Emily thinking she's invincible in a Citroen C1 doing 90 in the fast lane.
Yeah,
on Snapchat and everything, just absolutely nailing it in the fast lane. I'm thinking, why are you doing that in that car? I'm not even doing that in my BM.
Yeah, that's it. I just got back from Croft a couple of days ago. Some bird was flashing me. Not that.
Imagine.
Not that way.
It's your second girlfriend now, isn't it?
She was flashing me on. She was on the old flashlight. Almost whilst doing her makeup, going like 80 odd, 90, and I was having a gentle one on the way home, and she's like on the flashes.
Imagine not knowing that you've just flashed a British touring car driver on the motorway. Get out the fucking way, not then.
Should have undertaken it.
Get out the middle lane.
Yeah,
in that cash car.
Oh God.
I was going to say, there are certain cars, aren't they, where you do look at it and you think, because there are certain cars that just indicate that somebody just doesn't know about driving. And the Qashqai. Peugeots are another one. There's been one good Peugeot. One of my best mates actually has a Peugeot. He won't appreciate this. There's one good Peugeot, and that was the 205 GTI from like 1995 or something like that.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
One. But when you see a Qashqai, Citroen Berlingo is a big one. My girlfriend's mum has a Citroen Berlingo, and she loves it. I can't for the life of me understand why, but when you see those sort of cars, you just think, I don't trust you as much as I would trust someone who's actually got a half decent car. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I had the ultimate knobhead car though for 2 years. I had a Range Rover Velar, big old flashers on it.
Oh no!
Move out my way.
That's proper Essex. That is. That's proper Essex or Cheshire. That is, mate. That is the definition of it.
Oh, the Velar. Oh God.
It's
not that bad.
Well, we'll get a picture up on it in post-production. We'll get a picture of the Range Rover Velar and hopefully Photoshop with Bobby in it.
That's just like,
very pleased with himself.
look at me. I managed a bank once.
Yeah, exactly that. Oh dear me. No, what we're actually going to do now, Bobby, though, if we're moving on from the pet peeves a little bit, I'm going to have a little bit of a jingle in the background. I've got a sound guy for this. He's going to provide us with a little jingle, and you're actually going to take us through a little bit of a qualifying session. Not a qualifying session, but the qualifying session is about to wrap up, so you're going to go through a little bit of a first lap. Are you happy with that?
Yeah, let's do it.
Wicked. We'll cut to that now. So we're back. Cars on the grid. Bobby Thompson's going to talk us through a quick couple of laps of the Alton Park Fosters for these MX-5 drivers. We're going to test out his commentary skills now. Chaz is just on the phone, so it's going to be just me and Bobby helping him out a little bit. So, I mean, Alton Park is a pretty good one to be doing this little test for you, Bobby, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, from a commentary point of view, I think you never get a break to have a breath, especially around this circuit. It's a tough one, isn't it? But the track's up and down. Have to pick your braking points, especially in this car with no ABS, absolutely perfectly. Manual box in these cars as well, so they have to think about that. And that turn 1 heading down to turn 2, so that's going to be a tough one for these guys too.
I love how professional this is going for you as well. Are you actually jumping into the commentary box anytime soon? I think you said something about the F4.
Yeah, there was talks about me doing the F4 races at the touring cars. I don't know much about the F4 stuff. Oh, here we go. We're getting going.
Go on then, talk us through your best impression. Go for it.
And the lights are out. There we go. So how many you got on the grid here? I think we've got 12. So this yellow and black car, Saunders, has got a nice gap here into turn 1. The pink car, I don't know how you guys keep up the names. This is incredible.
I think that the pink car there, Shift Key or whatever his name is, jumped the start, you know.
I was going to say,
there's a crash in the background.
Oh, crash. We'll be able to go back to have a look at that one, but going down Cascades. In fact, no, he's gone right. Oh, Shay's absolutely binned it.
Oh, Dylan. I don't even know you, but what have you done? It looked like he actually tried to avoid the other black car there, the number 5. I think it is, Morris. I think he tried to avoid him there, and he just slammed on and just turned right in the avenue.
He's just hitting him off, wasn't he? Talk us through it, Bobby. What happened there?
So the blue car looks like he spun his mate around and didn't come out the throttle, and then every other Billy behind tried to miss him and did so correctly. But I think he's got a bit of damage on that car there on the front right. It looked a bit of a mess, if you ask me.
Have you got what happened to what's his face? O'Shea.
Dylan. Let's have a look for Dylan.
Dylan.
Dylan going down Cascades.
Pink one was
tight. Netcode, baby. Rolled back across the track. That's rule 1 of iRacing. We can't be doing that.
Got to hold that brake, haven't you?
Yeah.
I think he had the brakes on. It's just that they're milk bottle tops on an MX-5. So, he's actually got he's showing us there. He's got the wing mirror tether on. Look, ready? It was hanging off. Shift key's not shifting anywhere anytime soon, is he?
So there we go. Is this with the leaders here or P4? This guy is.
He was going around.
Him.
Oh, way up.
Quan's done it. Quan's going for the win. He hasn't Quan yet, though.
There we go.
Son.
Nah, a little bit of a race in the background. Well, I suppose we have a chat about sort of the rest of the. They're still going for it, aren't they? Round Druids. This is madness.
This is actually quite impressive.
I was going to say,
split.
I thought we were going bottom split. I thought we were going the bottom sort of trash from iRacing. This is actually half decent racing we got going on right now.
It's a nice tree, that.
He's still there.
He's going for
All
it.
right.
Done him. He's got him. He's done him.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
going to say, what is Alton
I thought he was
Park?
going to right hand down him then.
Just turn right into him.
Go on, lad.
Like a motorway cut
Oh,
up.
he's going to hit him on the brakes there, I'm telling you.
We're seeing far higher driving standards than I was far expecting it, Chaz. Yeah, it's bad.
No,
One
yeah. 1x. Oh! This is going to end in tears, I'm telling you now. Down here, this is going to go to shit.
Go up the inside. Oh, he's not even looking.
So I'd love to be able to comment on the old, on the way these cars are, but I think I've only ever done about.
Oh, he dropped it.
No. That is an ultimate spin. These guys must be playing on their phones for steering wheels.
It is a bit like sort of embarrassing, I suppose. But having said that, I'm just as bad in the MX-5 as well. I'm absolutely awful with it. Chaz is all right. He drives every other week, doesn't he, on it? But they are really tricky to drive. So
Yeah, it's something I struggle with.
But no, we'll have them on in the background just while we have the rest of the chat. And I'll tell you what, Chaz, we're playing around with the idea of playing Articulate with our guests here today, weren't we? And
yes.
We've sort of got, I don't know if you prepared a few words or not to be sort of doing. But basically, Chaz, have you played Articulate before?
I've not played it, but I know the premise of it.
Bobby, have you played it before?
I'm sure I had last Christmas, but you might have to jog my memory.
It is a classic board game Christmas game is what Articulate is. Basically, you're going to be the one guessing, okay? And you've got to pick who you're up against. So it may be me or it may be Chaz. The person who you've picked to go up against will also be guessing. It's basically whoever wins between you and, let's for instance say, Chaz. If you pick Chaz, that means I'll be the one explaining the words. So I've got to say, let's say it's an MX-5, okay? You've got to guess that it's an MX-5. I would basically try and describe an MX-5 without actually saying the words. So I would say it's a small 1.8 litre, this is really boring, but small 1.8 litre, slightly like an Audi TT or a Jannetta G40, and they're racing on Alton Park Fosters as we speak. And you'd probably guess MX-5 sort of thing. So those will be going to be what we're going to be going for. So you've got to decide who you want to play against. Essentially, do you want to play against me or do you want to play against Chaz?
I'll go against Chaz.
Go against Chaz, right? Fantastic. So I'm gonna have to. I'll just quickly make sure I've got enough words, so there'll be another little cut. You ready?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
Cool. Right, I've written a list for both of you.
Oh, just been a big send by Spielman. Sorry. Wing mirrors off. Wing mirrors off.
We'll bring that in then. So yeah, thought I brought a big list. We're gonna have the iRacing on in the background, and basically, I think Chaz, you're gonna go first. Does that sound?
Roger that. Yep.
Right.
Absolutely
Okay.
fine,
We're
mate.
gonna put a minute timer, or actually, I'll tell you what. How long is a lap? We'll start it as these guys, as Milo Spielman starts a lap, and when it finishes, that'll be your timer, okay?
Yeah, I like that.
Love
We
it,
definitely
right.
didn't just come up with that on the spot.
No,
Nice one.
absolutely, that was all planned, like the rest of this broadcast, this
Yes.
podcast even. Right, okay. So if anybody out there is wondering, I've got to explain it. Chaz has got to guess the word. I've got to explain it without guessing the word. Ready? 3, 2, 1, and something you would type on a computer.
Code, word.
What would you type on? What would you type the word on?
Oh, keyboard.
Thank you. What do we use every day for work? Something that you
Our
would
brain.
talk into.
Microphone.
Microphone, yeah, brain's optional. What cars drive on? What do they what creates friction? What do they put the power through?
Wheels, tires.
Tires, that'll do. Yeah. Best national series in the world for I almost said it then. For racing.
Formula One.
What did Bobby
BTCC.
race in last year?
Touring cars.
British touring cars, that'll do.
F1's shit. What?
Qashqai, Leaf, crappy
Knobhead.
electric cars. Close, but what do they all drive?
Middle lane.
What do they all drive on?
Nissans.
Yeah, Nissan's very good. Something that creates oxygen. They all really big ass. They get in the way a lot. One recently
Me.
got cut down at Snetterton. They
Wait,
have
what?
leaves on them.
Oh, a tree.
You agree? They're a tree.
You literally came up with these looking out the fucking window, didn't you?
Yes.
that'll
A
do.
ball sport. So not football or anything. You shoot it into a hoop, but it's not netball.
Teabagging.
Not,
Oh,
what?
basketball.
What?
Basketball.
Basketball, yeah, to be fair, actually, I just realised that the guys have crossed the line. So I'm going to have to say basketball away. But you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You got 6. I reckon I had a potential of 9. So you got potential of 9 to get here, Bobby. We'll start you on the next one.
Next lap. Let's go.
So what this will be is like fence, garden swing, patio.
Literally outside my window, the kids next door got a basketball hoop. There's some trees there in front of it, and they own a Nissan.
Oh, you're joking.
So basically, if you can guess what I'm looking at, you basically got this. You got this one, Bobby.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. What was it? Ball bag instead of basketball? What?
No, tea bag.
He said it's a ball sport. It's a teabagging. Gets in the way a lot, me.
Right. Okay. You ready, Bobby?
Let's do it.
Right. 3, 2, 1. An iPhone, an iPad, they're all products of what? It's also a fruit.
Oh.
Right, you might stick it in a stir fry, you might stick it in a fajita.
Chicken.
Chicken, there we go. What did you say? Chicken, fucking hell. What do you watch the touring cars on? What do you watch it, like the
telly?
The TV, that'll do. We are looking for what happens when the rain comes off a roof. What does it run into?
Gutter.
Go! I can't believe you got that. I was really struggling to think of a way to do it.
I was looking out my window.
It comes out of various things. The most common one is cows. However, obviously there are now almonds, basically.
Milk.
Yeah, there we go. Milk. What do you shit in?
A touring car.
Depends if you're going through Croft chicane. Sorry, that was a bit harsh.
Oh!
So harsh.
Oh my God!
Sorry, Bobby.
Oh my good lord!
What are you shitting? Come on, you've only got one corner.
Toilet.
Yeah, and Crash Fest series. What do they always crashing on the touring car paddock?
Mini challenge.
Oh, close. I was Janetta Juniors, but I have to let that one go. I'm so sorry about this.
Mini challenge. Anthony Williams will be on the phone.
Yeah. No, they don't.
Exactly. Yeah. No, you actually drew there. To be fair.
Oh, get in.
We'll call that one a draw. We won't do a deciding round or anything like that. We'll just call that one a draw.
Last forever.
Yeah, I was going to say it will last forever. There's only 3 laps of this thing left, and to be fair, there's probably only about 5 minutes of the podcast left as well. So yeah, it was quite entertaining. But I suppose next time we'll have to be the other way round, Chaz. Whoever we have on next week, you'll have to be the one explaining, and maybe you can think of things that aren't just outside my window.
Yeah, it'll be like radiator, drawers, Stream Deck, PC, box of celebrations.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, it's not got anything in it. Oh, listen to this, boys. That's an empty box of celebrations.
I think it's going to be a sewing kit.
The worst one is the sewing kit, isn't it? When you go around to your grandparents or something, they've just got a sewing kit instead of celebrations or biscuit selection box. Oh, it's madness. So go on then, Bobby. I suppose the last couple of things we'll have a chat about is we'll sort of take it back slightly more serious about the racing, everything. How was it watching Thruxton? I imagine it can't have been too nice watching it from not being in the driver's seat or anything like that. Was it a bit of a pang of sort of sadness when you saw them driving around?
Yeah, that's never been a thing for me. A lot of people all the way through since I was like 8, when you go to race weekends that you're not racing, didn't really bother me. A lot of people just go, "Oh, I can't be there if I'm not racing." It didn't bother me until it was about 2:00 Saturday afternoon. I was at the end of the pit lane. They're all coming off pit limiter and going into quali. That's when I thought, oh, that's pretty cool. Oh, we've seen someone get absolutely biffed off in the old MX-5 race there. And the left rear.
Oh.
He has had a nightmare. That is at least minus 2,000 I rating. Went for a move that was never going to be there. Gets turned into him, I think. Lovely move. Nice.
Druid is a nightmare, isn't it? Let's face it.
Yeah. Yeah, one corner you definitely don't try and go around the outside of someone.
Oh, look at the state of that.
That's when it on Saturday afternoon. That's when I thought, I really want to be, going racing. It is difficult, but there's much bigger problems in the world than me driving a race car around in circles.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned as well about there's a potential for maybe some GT driving or something. Is that something you'd be open to? It wouldn't just be touring car sprint race or anything like that.
Yeah, it's very early talks. I mean, as a pro driver, that's the place you want to be, especially for a future, because touring cars is hard to each winter go back to sponsors and find more, and it's difficult game. So GT's has got a longer future in it. There's talks with one of my customers that I coach that could potentially be doing GTs in a couple of years' time or even next year. But it's still very early days yet. I mean, he's doing his first ever race weekend this weekend, so we are very early days.
Jesus, what's he racing in?
In Janetta Academy at Brands Hatch this weekend.
Oh, fair play. Well, good luck
Hell
to
of a
him.
place for your first meeting, isn't it? Really, Brands. Let's face it.
Yeah,
Hell of a place.
Yeah, I think we've done a load of testing. We admittedly we've probably been doing 2 or 3 days a week most weeks, so a lot of testing. But nothing gives you that squeaky bum time as you're sitting on the grid, especially British GT weekend. It's not just your normal test day or track day, and all the big teams are there. Oh, this is getting a bit spicy. No, I'm watching it as well.
Squeaky bum time when these two are side by side. Sorry, go on.
So yeah, nothing gets you. I know for a fact, it doesn't matter who you are. That first meeting there, all the big boys are there. There's going to be all 30 of them or 20 of them on the grid. He's going to be nervous. So my job will be this weekend is make him go as quick as he can and give him, a guide through his first race weekend.
Yeah, I was going to say, I remember lining up for Brands Hatch in my first Super Cup race, and it was absolutely pissing it down. Terrifying track to begin with. Never really driven the Indy circuit properly. And it was just, those nerves are really sort of the overarching feeling, aren't they? I mean, you can have all the driver coaching in the world. As soon as you actually sat on the grid, it sort of just goes out the window. You sort of forget all that, and you even forget how to get away in a manual car. Like, it is that terrifying. So good luck to him, because he'll need it, I'm sure.
Yeah, I hope he does as well.
Yeah, that's a common thing, especially if you got someone that's, the juniors, you see this a lot. A young guy that is used to having someone next to him. As soon as you get out, these guys, they completely forget. It's like you've been driving the car from the passenger seat for months on end, and you get out and they just forget absolutely everything that you've went through, So, that'll be part of the job on Friday.
Yeah, absolutely.
Intriguing.
Yeah, good luck to him. I think we'll probably end up rounding out about here because I think this will be about half an hour, which I think sounds like a semi-decent end, so semi-decent sort of timeline for our first ever attempt at this, Chaz, don't you think?
Yeah, I'd say so. It's been a laugh. We've had some odd suggestions for the words in articulate, mainly from yours truly. But I'm surprised you didn't beat me, actually, Bobby. I thought you were going to smash me there. You started out quite well, but no, it's been good. It's been good fun. It's been good to catch up with you, to be honest, and see what's going on and have the balance of, are you that bothered about not driving at the minute, and aren't you, and so on. Because we all know, we appreciate how difficult it is in the motorsport world, and it's it's good that you're still in touch with it, really. So hats off to you, and hope it continues to go well.
Yeah, and if anyone's listening wants me to go racing, I really want to go fucking racing.
That's one way to advertise it. Just blunt, straight out there. Don't give a crap.
Yeah, don't get it wrong. I will take racing over money, at least until another 3 years or so.
Yeah, well, I can't blame you, that's for sure. Thanks very much, Bobby, for jumping on. Chaz, as always, been a pleasure. And Bobby, we may well actually have you back on. I think you've mentioned your mate James Gornall as well, Jiggy, to come on, which would be quite good fun. Maybe we get the two of you on at the same time. Yeah,
definitely. We've got some ideas that we can all run over together and see if we can make something fun up for everyone.
Awesome. Well, to everybody hopefully still watching, thank you very much for listening in or watching or however way you're consuming the podcast. It's been the Boring Talk Concerning Cars podcast. And if you're wondering why on earth it's such a long-winded name, acronym it, and you'll probably get a better idea of where we're going for. Thank you very much for watching. We're hopefully bringing this out every week or every other week. It depends on how quickly we can get the guests coming in. We've had people like Dan Camish, Michael Crease who said he'll come on, but obviously he's off playing in Monaco at the moment, so he probably won't be on the next one.
Jammy shot.
Yeah, absolute bastard. Dan Camish as well. I think, Bobby, you mentioned maybe Jason Plato and obviously Jiggy. Rick Parfitt as well, been in contact with him. So some really exciting guests coming along to have a chat with us on Boring Talk here. Thanks very much for watching, and you'll listen to us next time. See ya.